Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, everyone. Yes, I am wearing sunglasses because the sun is way too much this morning. Good morning, good morning. How is everyone on this beautiful Thursday morning? The month of February is almost gone in 2020. And what actions have you taken? What actions have you taken thus far? You know, we came out of 2020 like a rocket. New decade. I'm going to change. There's so much I'm going to do differently. I have all of this 2020 vision. So we're about 45, 50, 60 days in, maybe 30, 60 days in to the new year. And so what have you done? What have you done? Good morning, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I know the sun is quite bright, but thank you for tuning in. But you know what? That's the way that God is shining on me in these days. As bright as that sun. And that's the way I'm shining for him here in the earth. Hallelujah. Glory to the Lamb of God. Listen, so today, this morning, I missed out on Let's Talk Tuesdays. I like speaking from my heart. I didn't have anything scripted to say. And I got on Tuesday morning and my thoughts and words was just kind of everywhere. And there were a couple people on with me. I'm sorry if you didn't see it because I deleted it. And sometimes in life, we do things and we're in places in life and we do things in life and things happen in life, and when we're not satisfied or we're not happy with it, you know what? You just got to delete some things. And listen, this is so, wow, this is hot off the press right here. So listen, I had about maybe 6 or 7 people on. And I was just kind of rambling because I had some things that happened to hurt my heart over the past couple of, it was the past weekend actually. And it was very disappointing. Very disappointing. But at any rate, I was kind of rambling and heart wasn't completely healed about that thing. So I didn't have peace about it in my heart. So make a long story short, I see now that on that video, I deleted that video. So listen, here's what happened, right? I took stage. I got on the live like I said I was going to do on Tuesdays. And I was rambling. There were people that saw me rambling. There were people that was there, that was present. So they were able to see me in that vulnerable state. They were able to see me. They didn't know I was vulnerable, but they were able to see me in that state. They were able to see that, you know, I didn't quite have it together as I do this morning, right? So, hallelujah. I just was not put together. First, I showed up. Second, people saw me, right? And then third, I wasn't pleased with the action. So for those who were there that saw me, they saw what they needed to see. I don't know. Maybe someone else is going through a place in their life where they don't have it all together and they need to be vulnerable or whatever, right? And then the third thing was I wasn't pleased with it. It's not that it didn't happen. It happened and people saw me. But because I wasn't pleased with it, I deleted it and I didn't promote it. Okay? So that means that there was a limited number of people who saw. There was a limited number of people who saw what I was experiencing, what I was going through. And I mean, y'all get this, because this is revelation for me right now. In life, we're going to go through some things. There's going to be some people to see you. You're going to be vulnerable. There's going to be some people that's going to see your ability. But guess what? You have the power to delete that and move forward and keep it moving. That's my thing. Keep it moving. Just keep it moving. Deal with it and keep it moving, right? You can't stop. Life goes on. If you stop, life is still going on without you. So you might as well go on with life. Just keep it moving. No matter how you're feeling, what you're doing. Like, I was not pleased with it. I didn't like it, but the people that was there that needed to see it saw it, and I was able to delete it. Here's the thing also, I'm still here to tell about it. So we overcome by the blood of the Lamb and the word of our testimony. So our story, you got to tell your story. You got to talk about these things, right? So that's it. Be vulnerable, but know when you need to cut it off, delete it, to be able to delete it, because I'm not feeling how I was feeling then. We got to delete some things. It don't mean that you're not going to remember it, because I remember it now. I'm telling you, I was there. I know what happened. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for your support this morning. So this morning I'm talking about vulnerability and being able to delete those things that you don't like. You're still going to remember them. Memory is there. And you can still talk about them. And you know you're healed when you can talk about them, where you can tell other people about them. So at any rate, today I kind of want to also speak to those, I'm speaking to those. Here's my platform. Something happened, guys. Hold on a second. I think my navigation is here. I'm not sure what happened. Okay, there we go. We're back on. All right, so my navigation kicked in. All right, so here's the thing. My platform and my purpose is to speak to those who are broken, who feel hopeless, who self-esteem is low, they're down on themselves. You feel like you are nobody, no one loves you, and none of those things are true. But the reality of it is, you got to do some work on yourself, because that's a lot going on if that's how you feel. And there's nothing wrong with it. That's just how you feel. That's your truth, right? You got to live in it. You got to live in it, and you got to be able to be honest with yourself. If you're not honest with yourself or can't be honest with yourself, then you're not ready to move on and be transparent with yourself. It's time to grow, people. It is time to grow. And it's no one else's responsibility. It's yours. It's your responsibility to grow. It's your responsibility to do the work. If you're not ready to do that, that's okay. But if you are, this is a word of encouragement, an influence, initiation for those who are, and for those who are not. These times, the stuff that I do, the tell yourself, the encouragement, those are seeds planted. Guess what? I may not ever see the fruit of it, because some are called to plant, some are called to water, and God gives the increase. Okay? So, that's it. It's time. I'm trying to see who on here. Hello, good morning, everyone. The sun is bright. I can't really see. So at any rate, it's time for growth. And one thing I want to touch on about people who have that mindset is overthinking. There's a lot of work that has to be done. You got to start at the root. And you have to be honest with yourself. Get a piece of paper, get a pen and paper. And in your quiet time, if you don't have quiet time, you're going to need some quiet time. But in your quiet time, you're going to need to sit down, write down these things. If you don't have time for that, there is a notes section on your cell phone. Type it in. Whatever you do, get it out. Talk about the 5 things that are just so negative or have been negative in your life. Then write those things down and start dealing with them one by one. Simply because that's what's holding you back. Those are the weeds that have grown into the roots. And so the plant can't grow. It can't flourish. The seed is there. The plant is there. But you got some weeds that's kind of grown in there and it's keeping you from growing. Self-doubt, low self-esteem, not feeling like you're enough, wanting and seeking validation from other people. All of this is from hurt. All of it comes from hurt. It comes from pain. It comes from negativity. It has to come from a place of darkness, right? Like, because if it was from a place of light, then it wouldn't be negative. Okay? So you got to deal with that. You got to deal with it. Can't move forward without it. Well, you can move forward, but not in a positive way. Okay? So, overthinking things. I didn't understand that initially, and why I was a product of always overthinking things. This traffic is horrible. We overthink things. Let me speak for myself, and I pray that this resonates with someone. Only if it's only one person, that's all I need. That's all I want. If it can change the life of one person, change the mindset of one person, that's it. Or if someone else is on here that can tell somebody else about what I said, and it changes that person's life. It changes their mindset. It starts in the mind. So, okay. Overthinking things. I had a couple of people tell me that, oh, you overthink things. You overthink things. I'm like, I'm not overthinking things. I'm just trying to make sure I make a well-informed decision. That's what we say. I'm just trying to make sure I make a well-informed decision. No, baby, no boo, no honey, no child, no sister, no brother, no. That may be the case with some people. But if you're in that negative zone, that's probably not going to be the case for you. The case is going to be that you're overthinking it. And for me, I was overthinking because of bad decisions that I had made in the past. And so the fear of making bad decisions would always creep up in me making a decision. Okay? And especially if it was a decision that would affect my life and my daughter's life, our life, okay? So if it was a decision that was going to affect that, then I would think long and hard about it. Let me think long and hard about this. Let me pray about it. Let me make sure I'm making a well-informed decision. Nah, you're not making a well-informed decision. You're overthinking it. Not everybody, as I said, that's what's happened for most people. So I'm talking to myself, right? You're just overthinking this. So, had a couple of people say that to me. One of which I didn't have any respect for. And then the other one of which I had high respect for. And so when she said it, I was just like, well, no, I don't think so. Because, we don't want to, when we're not ready to be honest with ourselves. We're not ready to be honest with ourselves. We're not ready to tell the truth to ourselves. These conversations are between you and you. This ain't no conversation between you and everybody else. That's what has gotten a lot of us in the position that we're in. We're talking to other people too much. You need to be talking to yourself, talking to God, talking to yourself. Get yourself straight. Get yourself right. Because until then, you're only a portion of what you need to be for other people. I'm not going to say you're not no good to anybody, because I've heard that before, and that is just simply not the truth. You are, but you're nowhere near as good as you could be. You're not 99%, because nobody's 100. You're not 99%, okay? So, back to the story. This is my story, okay? So, back to this. I said, you can Google everything, right? I'm like, okay, let me Google this. First of all, I started praying about it. Y'all forgive me, I'm on the freeway, so the phone might be shaking. Sorry. So, I started praying about it. We go to do what we are accustomed to doing, right? And so I started praying about it, and I was like, okay. Then there was a song that I heard by Leandria Johnson, Deliver Me From Me. And it started to resonate with me. One, I was praying about it. The second thing was, then the song came to minister to me, right? And I'm not talking about, I didn't talk to nobody else about it. Because I was really at a point where I was just tired. Like, I'm tired of this me, right? And at a later date, I'll go more into detail as to why I was in that position mentally. But, at that point, I'm just like, okay, this song is really ministering to me. Deliver me from me. Then I continue to pray about it. Continue to ask God to show me. What is it? Why am I this way? Where is all this overthinking coming from? Is it true, first of all? And then where is it coming from? Why do I do this? So I Googled it, and overthinking something. I can't remember exactly what I Googled. You know, Google is the bomb. It'll just take you and tell you everything you need to know. So I Googled it, and it came back to me, overthinking, oh God, I can't think of the word right now. Analysis paralysis. And I knew all my life I was an analytical thinker, right? I analyze things. And I analyze them way too much sometimes. So I knew that, okay, so that's the root of that, right? Been like that all my life, right? So there's a root. And then comes along all these things that have happened to me that I either allowed to happen, or I made a bad decision about, or I thought too long about it by analyzing it, or I just took a leap and didn't analyze it at all. So I'm just like, oh, this is really a thing. Analysis paralysis, right? I don't know about anyone else, but for me, when I can attach a name to something, then I now know how to attack that thing, how to study, to read, to overcome it, right? This analysis paralysis. And so you analyze things, you think about things so long until you get to a place where it paralyzes you and no decision is made. Or fear creeps in and another bad decision is made. So I kept reading about it, and then I read upon fear is really a strong part of that. And so mine was fear of making bad decisions, fear of making the wrong decisions. Because when you make decisions that are not great, and then the fear of making a decision that would not be good for myself and my daughter, okay? For mothers, you know, you want to make the best decision when your children are involved. When you have children, you want to make the best decisions. And sometimes we do. Sometimes we don't. That's a part of life, right? But you want to minimize that to the best of your ability. And so I just was like, oh my God, that's what this thing is, right? But where's mine coming from? Why am I that way? And so when you fault yourself for the decisions that you make that don't turn out so great, then when it's time to make a decision, your mind goes back to that thing, that decision that you made that didn't turn out too well. And you start to think about that, and then the what if comes up. What if I do this? What if I do that? What if I make this decision and this happened? What if I make this decision and that happened? What if I make the decision and blah, 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 and what if, and what if, and what if, and what if, and what if? And so now you're in a place where you're thinking about the what if, and you're not even thinking about making the best decision or the well-informed decision. It's all about the negative that is attached to making that decision, because the decision you made was so, in your mind, so horrible. But I think, honestly, everything happens for a reason, and you learn something good and bad about that. And of course, we don't want to continue to make bad decisions, but you don't want to go into analysis paralysis either, to a place where you're not making any decisions at all. Because what happens is you're not growing at that point. You're standing still. You're not growing. Right? So I just wanted to share that this morning. Again, this was supposed to be on Let's Talk Tuesdays. But for those of you who were there, you know it was kind of, Let's Talk Tuesdays was a little shaky. Because again, I had experienced something very disappointing over the weekend that included me being vulnerable for 3 years to a person that I counted as a friend and a confidant. And to find out that that person decided 3 years ago that we weren't meant to be friends was extremely disappointing. But here's the thing too. We go through different things and I'm all good with it. It was disappointing. It was hurtful. But that doesn't mean that I won't be vulnerable again. That doesn't mean that, now I can remember a time before I learned about myself with this analysis paralysis and started doing the work on myself. I can remember a time where I would have said, oh no, I'm never opening up ever again. And that's because it pricks the heart. It hurts and it's disappointing. But you know what? That was for a reason, a season, and that's it. It wasn't for a lifetime. And I'm good with that because I'm mature enough now to understand what place it had in my life. Another thing, know what place and what people have in your life. You need to know that. You need to know their position in your life. You need to know how long they need to be in your life. You need to know this going in. Ask for revelation from God. Let that spirit of discernment begin to operate, you know? And if that spirit of discernment is telling you this ain't good, don't open up. Because it may be that you are supposed to be an ear for them, right? It's like anything. When you go to a job, they give you a job description. When you are hired to do a job, you get a job description. Those are the things that are expected of you in that position, and you get paid for that. They don't expect you to do anything outside of that. So in relationships, especially friendships amongst women or friends with men and women, just whatever that friendship is, know your position. When you know your position, then you don't set yourself up to be disappointed. You don't set yourself up to be hurt, right? Know your position. What is my position in their life and what is their position in my life? I strongly believe that we are created to be helpers one to another, and relationships are mutually beneficial. No one should be taking all the time. You should be giving. Don't be a receiver all the time. You have to be a giver. And we're here to balance one another. We're not balanced. We're here to sharpen one another. We're here to sharpen one another, help one another. I'm here to give something, and you're here to give something to me, right? Give and receive, give and receive, give and receive, give and receive, give and receive. Give and receive. I could go somewhere else with that, but I don't think I want to do that this morning because I don't have time. For those who are always givers and don't want to receive, there's a little pride maybe going on there. But at any rate, I don't want to get sidetracked. So, because sometimes I can easily do that because I have so much I want to say. At any rate, be vulnerable, but know your position. You can save yourself at that. All right. That is it. Listen. Tell yourself, I am a person of action. I am not a person that is what if. Definitely want to make sure that you're counting all the costs for everything, but don't let that what if be the only thing that you're thinking about that is negative, because you can say, what if the positive? What's the positive that's going to come out of this? Everything we do, someone is affected by it, especially when you have children, just when you have family. How can you bless someone by the decision that you're making, and how can you hurt someone by the decision that you're making, right? At any rate, all right, I'm getting off now. You all have a great, wonderful day. This is my Let's Talk Tuesdays. You got to go back and listen to, because I know it's Thursday. Somebody think I'm crazy. No, I'm not crazy. This is Let's Talk Tuesdays on Thursday. How about that? Have a great day. Be the best you that you can be today. Knowing that in all things, everything is possible. Just because of where you've been does not affect of where you're going or where you are now. doesn't mean you have to stay there. Everything goes through a growth process in this earth. Everything God created goes through a growth process. And when we are aware of that, we understand where we are, where we've been, where we are, and where we're going. Try not to take things so personal. The spirit of offense is just reeking in the earth. Try your best not to. Speak to yourself about that every single day. Because we go through things, you experience things, you go through things, so are other people. And a lot of times people aren't really trying to hurt or whatever, cause an offense. It's just that they're going through something. They don't know how to handle it. And also understand that a lot of times we are hurt by the people that is closest to us because we're the closest and they feel safe. So I'm not going to end this note on that. I'm going to end this on a happy note. Let your sun shine today. Let your spirit shine. Be the best authentic you that you can be for everyone around you. Who are you? What do you have to offer? What are you bringing to the table? All of the positive, not that negative stuff. People got their own negative stuff going on. They don't need yours. They don't need your stuff. You need to go have a table talk, a round table talk with yourself. Put your own stuff on the table and talk to yourself about it. Right? Have a great, wonderful day. And I will see you next Tuesday for Tuesday Talks. Bye. Have a great day. Bye.